The palace lights shimmer in the early morning stillness. Familiar, predictable, eternal. But here's what no one expected. The heir to this ancient crown is not delicate, not sheltered, not quiet. She is a warrior. And Princess Leonor of Asturias is rising faster, stronger, and more fearlessly than the royal world ever prepared for. They thought they knew her story. They were wrong. From the moment Leonor was born, Spain believed they understood her destiny. A future queen raised to maintain tradition. A symbol, a figure, a gentle continuation of the crown. But destiny rarely unfolds the way the world expects. Behind the curtains of etiquette and protocol, a very different heir was taking shape. One who would not simply inherit power, but redefine it. One who would step out of the shadow of monarchy and into a new era with a force no one predicted. Her childhood was filled with the softness of royal life, but beneath the elegance was discipline. Leonor learned posture, diplomacy, languages, but she also learned the weight of being the nation's hope. She saw the burden on her father's shoulders, the criticism her mother endured, the eyes that watched her even before she could speak. Responsibility wasn't just taught, she absorbed it. Quietly, deeply, completely. Yet early on, something set her apart. She wasn't content to merely follow rules, she wanted to understand them. She didn't just repeat lines, she questioned their meaning. And every time she asked why, her identity sharpened. A spark. A curiosity, a determination to carve her own path within the centuries-old structure she was born to uphold. Spain began to notice it gradually. A certain confidence in her speeches. A steadiness in her gaze. A sense that even though she was young, she carried something ancient within her. Something regal, something unshakable. But the world truly shifted the moment she made the decision that shocked Europe. She would join the military academy of Zaragoza. Not a symbolic visit, not a short-term course. Full training, full discipline, full sacrifice. The academy was not built for comfort, and certainly not for princesses. Yet Leonor stepped into that world willingly, boots laced, hair tied back, leaving behind silk gowns and state ceremonies for mud, sweat, exhaustion, and the harsh reality of military life. The first weeks were a test of spirit. Dawn drills, heavy packs, endless marching. Physical strain that would break many. And she struggled, like every cadet. But she never quit. In fact, she embraced the hardship with a determination that silenced every whisper of doubt. Cadets who expected her to crumble found themselves inspired instead. She earned every nod, every salute, every ounce of respect. There was one moment, retold again and again among the cadets, that revealed her true nature. During a field endurance test under scorching heat, many slowed down. But Leonor, pushing through fatigue and trembling muscles, kept her pace. Not leading, not trying to shine, simply refusing to fall. When an officer later evaluated the session, he said only one sentence: "She has the heart of a warrior." That sentence spread through Spain in hours. And with it, everything changed. Suddenly, the world looked at Leonor differently. Not as the princess in delicate dresses walking behind her parents, but as a future queen who had chosen the hardest path on purpose. A leader willing to earn her place. A young woman unafraid of challenge, pressure, or pain. But behind this rise was a deeper story, one that unfolded quietly within her family. The love between them was real, but so was the tension. Felipe, ever the steady monarch, believed in discipline and tradition. He wanted Leonor's preparation to follow precise steps, protocol, diplomacy, ceremony. Letizia, fierce and modern, wanted her to shape her own vision. She encouraged Leonor to think, to feel, to analyze the world as it truly is, not just as history demands. And Leonor stood between them, absorbing both worlds. The weight of a king's legacy on one shoulder. The expectations of a modern queen on the other. She loved them both deeply. But she also knew she could not be a copy of either. One evening, during a private family conversation, the tension surfaced. Discussions of her future obligations grew heavy, layered with love but shadowed by pressure. Leonor listened quietly before speaking, her voice gentle but resolute. "I will honor my duty," she said. "But I need the freedom to become the leader Spain needs, not the one tradition assumes." That moment stunned her parents. Not because she defied them, but because she spoke not as a daughter, but as a future monarch. That independence became the defining force of her rise. As Europe watched her military training, Spain watched something deeper, her transformation. Her posture sharpened, her voice gained gravity, her decisions carried confidence. She was no longer just preparing for a throne, she was preparing for a world in crisis. A world that demanded leaders with grit, empathy, and backbone. Her first major engagements after joining the academy revealed this evolution clearly. There was a moment during a speech where she paused, made deliberate eye contact with the audience, and delivered a message so steady it startled even seasoned politicians. She wasn't reading words, she was owning them. And in that moment, Spain saw their future. Not fragile, not uncertain, but forged. And yet, beyond the public eye, she fought her own internal battles. The pressure, the scrutiny, the endless comparisons to other young royals. Rumors about friendships and relationships. Judgment on every appearance. Critics questioning her every move. But what the world didn't see were the quiet moments where she processed it all. Late nights studying, tears shed in silence after overwhelming weeks. Writing in her private journal about her fear of failing her people. And then, rising each morning determined to try again. Her relationship with her sister Sophia played a critical role in these moments. Sophia was the one person who saw her without the weight of the crown. They talked, laughed, confided. Sophia reminded her that beneath the armor, she was still human. And Leonor needed that reminder more than anyone knew. Yet it was during a solitary moment, far from her family, that Leonor discovered the truth that would define the rest of her rise. During a brief break in training, she went on a lone walk through a quiet forest trail. The world felt distant, the air crisp, the path empty. She paused beneath a towering tree, tilted her head up, and whispered the question that had been haunting her: how do I lead without losing myself? The silence answered her softly. By being both. Both strong and compassionate. Both disciplined and human. Both warrior and heir. That revelation became her compass. And soon, the entire royal world began to feel the shift. Royal watchers noticed her increasing strength. Politicians respected her maturity. Other monarchies felt the tremor of a new force rising in Spain. She was not just a princess anymore. She was becoming an emblem of what a modern royal could be. And yet, with this rise came more curiosity loops. What challenges awaited her? Would she face political turbulence? Would she clash with tradition? Would her personal life remain private, or would it become the world's obsession? And how would she balance the demands of a crown with the desires of her own heart? Those questions will shape her future. But one truth is already clear. Princess Leonor's rise is redefining royalty itself. She is not the heir Spain expected. She is the heir Spain needs. A warrior, not of violence, but of resilience. A leader, not born from privilege, but forged through challenge. A queen, not because of lineage, but because of character. The royal world is watching her. The critics, the allies, the doubters, the admirers, they all sense the same thing: a transformation is unfolding. A shift in the monarchy. A new force rising. Princess Leonor of Asturias, the warrior heir, the fearless young woman shaking an entire royal world. Her rise is not a story of destiny alone, it is a story of courage. Of conviction. Of a heart that chooses duty, but never forgets humanity. And this rise is only the beginning.